Well, we're here for another hike at Deer Park. And that's what you see when you're in Deer Park. We got some cirrus to the south. Look at these shapes, though. This is Long Island Avenue. Oh, look at these shapes, though. We got some colors here still. Just amazing. Alright, entering the desert, and I still see that thing is there. The lean-to. And hopefully there's no bum in there. Hopefully. Yep. This thing is still here. It's ridiculous that this can't be cleaned up. This thing busy cutting down trees over here. What is going on here? I know there's bums in here. There's bums in here. This is new. This wasn't here the last time. These trees that were cut down. Looks like they cut down more trees. They're going to make it even bigger. This is unbelievable. Nothing gets done. That's new too. Somebody's clothes. Oh, I love this spot. It's beautiful. It's a shame that we have these bums in here. All about those great shapes, that is for sure. Yeah, you can see the cirrus off to the south there. That's the cirrus. Not a problem for us, though. Fortunately. All that blue sky we got is ours for the afternoon. Ah, look at these shapes here, huh? Speaks for itself, really. I don't have to say anything. Unfortunately, some of that crap is now trying to filter the sun. Even though it's clear overhead, the sun is low in the sky to the south, so... look at those shapes, huh? Those shapes, huh? It's a beautiful spot over here. Well, I knew this looked a little different. Looks like they mowed this area. This was like a grassy area over here. It's not good because that's butterfly habitat, but... wonder why they mowed this. Uh-oh, I see a blue top over there. What's going on over there? We're going to have to check that out in a minute. Huh, here you go. Here's... Nah, it's just like a pool or something. I don't know what those... And some cones. You know, I'm tired of the dumping in these pine barrens here. You don't see this further out east. So Deer Park, unfortunately, is becoming a ghetto. And it's affecting the pine barrens. Beautiful. And the camera shut off again. I had to change the battery. It's not as cold today, so it's a little milder. So coming out here, I was taking the train, you know, the Mount Ronkonkoma train from Mineola. We're passing through Skidsville, and one of the streets that's west of the post office, I don't know, off West John Street, somebody had a bonfire going. A bonfire. It's ridiculous. Half thinking after this of going to Belmore instead of going back to Skidsville after this. I don't know if I'm going to do that, though. But that's why I hate Skidsville. While I walk over here, we're going to talk about a couple things. Look at these. Look at this, though. Isn't this beautiful? Nothing but pines. Okay, so you know, this weekend we got our thing again with the track work on the main line, which means no service. And it's pretty much the same song and dance as the last time. No service on the main line between Hicksville and Jamaica. They're gonna, you know, have all the extra trains going on the pretty little Babylon branch. And they're directing everybody to go there. They'll have the every other Hempstead train going to Penn Station, and the only busing will be provided is to Hempstead pretty much. So there's going to be a bus that's going to be running between East Williston, Mineola, and Hempstead. That's the only shuttle bus they're providing. So once again, for those folks who need to travel east of Mineola to go to Hicksville, we have to depend on Nice Bus. It looked like in the committee books that there was going to be some hope that wasn't going to happen, and they were going to actually provide a busing, because they said busing would be provided between Hicksville and Mineola in the committee books for November, and they lied, because when the schedule came out, there's no busing provided. I give up on that, I really do. And we're going to talk a little bit about giving up on some things in this video. So we're going to walk over to the other desert-like area, which is still here today. But as we walk over there, I'm going to talk about this. So, you know, I did the video last week after the election about how we're not, you know, you just can't beat Wall Street. You can't beat the special interests, the favoritism, the discrimination against the middle of the island. As long as people don't want to get involved and really protest about it, there's not much more I can do. You know, I've done all that I can do in regards, and that also includes with this Long Island Railroad and the MTA, and because it's all part of the same thing, is that, you know, they're in control, and so there are people there at the MTA that do care about us, like Phil Eng and like Jano Lieber, but they're always overruled by the interests at Wall Street that control the MTA. Namely Kevin Law, namely Pat Foy, and things just aren't looking very good for the MTA right now. It was in the news that the Cuomo's transformation team, for the MTA, the person that's going to lead that transformation team, used to work at Veolia Management. Veolia, you know, the company that was part of Transdev, that ran Nice Bus before it became Transdev. So that's not a very good sign at all. And Pat Foy actually, the negotiations did not go well with the workers. Pat Foy gave them an even worse package. So, I mean, they're really trying to stick it to the workers, the blue-collar people, the middle class, the disabled, and you know, that's what the middle of the island is, and that's why they're doing what they're doing, because they're only looking out for their own kind on Wall Street. And I've spoken about this before, but again, you know, I mean, people just don't want to get involved. They don't want to get involved. You know, I mean, what else can I do? You know, I'd rather, and tell you the truth, you know, I put these Pine Barrens videos up, and people just aren't interested in watching them. This takes a lot of effort, you know, editing, and you know, it takes sometimes effort rendering the videos, and for what? Getting half the video of dislikes. I mean, it just doesn't feel like I'm appreciated anymore. And I'm gonna have another video before the end of the year about what's going to be happening as we enter a new decade, the 2020s, and the changes I'm going to be making here. You're going to see a lot less content, all right? Because to me, it's just not worth doing this anymore. Content for you, you know. I'd rather be here enjoying this hike and not have to take this video, you know. I really, you know, I'd like to come here and take pictures and relax, and not do a video, all right? Especially if I do the video and it gets all these dislikes. I mean, what's the point? It's all part of the same thing. What's going on here with the YouTube's ratings is exactly what's happening at the polls. All the people that represent Wall Street, all the people that represent this snobby demographic, are voting, putting in their input, and we're not. So, you know, they're winning, basically. And all we have to try to do is survive. And that's what I have to do. I have to survive. You know, of course I love sharing the beauty of the Pine Barrens with you, but it's just not appreciated. You know, with all this stuff. The whole existence here on YouTube. It's just futile. You know, they're making the site harder to use. They recently enforced this new COPA regulation, which means that I gotta basically mark my channel as not for kids, because if you mark it for kids, people can't comment. But here's the thing, even if you do this, the not for kids part, if somebody feels that one of your videos is geared to kids, even though you don't mean it to be geared to kids, you could wind up in some trouble. So I mean, they're just making this site, they just want to make it corporate. Again, YouTube is a losing battle too. You know, it's all about the corporate class, and like I said, people just don't want to rise up. They don't want to fight, and you know, I'm done fighting it because people really don't care. Not enough for me to continue doing this anymore. It doesn't mean I'm quitting YouTube, but it means that I'm going to talk about this in another video before the year is up. But as we enter the 2020s, I'm going to be doing a lot less content on this channel, a lot less. It's just not appreciated. You know, yes, I understand there are about 15 to 20 snobs out there, or maybe even a little more than that, depending on the video, that want to constantly come on here and dislike the video. But there should be 15 to 20 or more of you that like the video, and there aren't. So again, it's just like with the polls. It's the reason why Saladino won, because everybody else stayed home and the snobs came out and voted and put Saladino in for another term. It's the same thing. We're all brainwashed. You know, and I just want to go in and look after my mental health and my well-being, and and focus on the things I love doing and trying to cope and survive, because life is getting harder for me. You know, with this whole thing, I'm going to have to once again get around for another weekend with no busing. I mean, no trains. You know, the reason why I lived in Mineola is because it's a major hub, and how can you not have trains and no busing? It's, you know, but I'm going to have to adapt. You know, I have to deal with taking nice bus, and I'm going to have to deal with that or stay home. Or walk to Garden City, you know? Which, I mean, I don't mind using the Garden City station. It's a very nice station, and Garden City is very nice, and I like going there. But when the weather's not so great, especially once they start doing this work again, and they're going to start in January, but again, it's if there's snow on the ground, you know, and then you got to depend on nice bus, which, you know, it's not reliable. It may or may not show up, and it's always an aggravating experience. I mean, they're worse than Suffolk County. Suffolk County Transit, yes, I understand, NICE has more service than Suffolk Transit. But whenever I've taken Suffolk Transit, it's reliable. It shows up most of the time. With NICE, it shows up about half the time. All right? You know, and I mean, I could cope, all right? It's not that bad. I understand. Mineola does have bus service fairly late at night. And I almost never get back that late to the point where the buses stop running in Mineola. I mean, you know, if I was in Westbury, things would be a lot worse. And, you know, I don't take it for granted that I'm out of there. Thank God I'm out of there. If I was living in Westbury, I'd really be screwed. But, you know, I'm thankful that I'm not there, you know. It's bad because I like being able to get the train and get to the Pine Barrens, and now it's going to just make it harder again this weekend. But I'll get to the Pine Barrens if it's a nice day. Oh, man, look at these shapes. These are some big pines over here. You know, there's all the other stuff that I got to deal with. Today, literally right in front of where I live, some guy comes out and says, "You have a quarter? Can you spare a quarter?" You know, another bum. Now, you know, I mean, you know, I don't deal with this on the South Shore. You know, but I don't want to move. I happen to like Mineola. I really don't want to have to live on the South Shore, as I said before. You know, obviously, if it gets to the point where it does really start getting dangerous, and it's not at that point yet. Now, Hicksville, on the other hand, is getting very dangerous. There was a knife point slashing or some kind of fight or something not that far at a bodega, not very far from the train station there in Hicksville a couple of nights ago. And you always hear on the news, well, they're always arresting people from Hicksville for various crimes. So, you know, Hicksville is ruined. It's done. It's gone. But thank God I don't live there. So I'm just going to have to go there less. That's pretty much what it is, you know. You know, thank God Mineola hasn't become like that. If it was, I would definitely have to move again and I'd have to get a lawyer. But thank God it's not. And hopefully that doesn't happen. I hope and pray it doesn't. No, I don't want to have to live in New Jersey. Gotta understand something, alright? Lived on Long Island my whole life. I couldn't imagine living anywhere else. New Jersey, it may be cheaper, it may be more affordable. It may be geared more to the middle class, but it's different. It's a different place. It's laid out differently. Especially for those who don't drive, it's much harder, all right? Even, you know, in Toms River, for say, you know, I mean, they don't have the same kind of bus network that we have here. The parks are further away from the buses. You know, it's hotter there in the summer. And I can't state it enough how I cannot take the hot weather. It's very detrimental to my health. So, you know, I'm not going to be driven out of the island I've called home my whole life by a bunch of entitled, little, snobby brats from Wall Street. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to let it happen. And if it does happen, I can't imagine myself being happy in Toms River, all right? I just can't, all right? It's far away from my relatives, far away from everything I know. And to tell you the truth, it's kind of depressing there. I mean, it's not a whole lot going on, you know? You know, you don't have any downtown areas that like you can hang out in, like on Long Island. Everything's just kind of spread out, you know? You know, I love visiting and I love going there to hike, go to the Pine Barrens there, but I don't want to live there, you know? Okay, we've reached the power right away here. So we cross over this. I see, looks like they're putting in new poles. Replacing some of these old poles here, which is good. Glad to see it. You know, I couldn't imagine being anywhere else other than Long Island. This is... Some people, they don't understand how passionate I am about this place, all right? And, you know, how important everything is here to me. But it is very important. And I'm not going to let this demographic get rid of me so fast. All right? if God forbid life in Mineola does become unbearable, and it's not unbearable, not even close, but if it does get to the point where it does start getting dangerous, you know, then to me, I don't think it's that dangerous. We don't have any gangs. Well, we saw that it was an isolated incident, but generally it's not like, I don't get that feeling like I got when I lived in Westbury. I have not felt that at all. Right, sure, the problems around the train station, but, you know, it's a hub, it's a busy area. It is being discriminated against. I mean, I happen to like Mineola a lot, you know. Now, those are trail markers, unlike in the other spots. So we're going to go in here, go down this bike trail. It's a little steep. It says on the tree, most difficult. So, bottom line is this. I just want to let this go, this whole thing, all right? You know, we just, until people wake up, there's nothing more I can do about the politics here on Long Island. There's nothing more I can do. And that includes the MTA, that includes all this stuff. You know? It really does. So I'm going to show you this beautiful desert area over here, of course, which I have to absolutely love. Look at these shapes here. I don't know what all this stuff is for. This, again, more, I don't even want to know what that is. All right? I don't even want to know. So we got to go to the other side, so this way. It's a beautiful spot, though. One thing that I won't change, however, one thing that I remain determined about is protecting the Pine Barrens. And if I have major news that's happened in the Pine Barrens, or about the Pine Barrens, that is something I continue to talk about, no matter what, because this Pine Barrens are just, you got to understand something. They are the most important thing in my life, you know, and they're an integral part of Long Island, and we have to speak up for them because nobody else is, and that's not something I'm going to compromise on. But this other stuff, this other political stuff, you have no choice. What? I mean, I'm not saying I'm not going to do videos when 2020 comes. I'm just not going to do as many. And that includes the weather updates. I may do just like one a week, or, you know, I mean, if something major is happening with the weather, and I'll do a weather update. But again, when 2020 comes at all, I just got to spend less time doing this YouTube thing. It's just not worth it anymore. You know, it's not worth it. You can always watch my colleagues, Matt Camper, Andy's Randomness, Jason Anthony, Kevin, MTA Prodigy, and anyone else I left out. You can always watch them for that stuff, all right? But me, I got to make this change for my own good, all right? My own mental health. That's the most important thing. Yeah, look at that scene, huh? That's beautiful. Nothing but pines. Yeah, look at those great shapes, huh? You know, this is what it's all about, you know. This is what I'm about, you know. I'm always about those great shapes, you know, and, you know, it's a shame that some people out there just can't let me be, can't, just let it go, you know, just, they gotta keep doing what they're doing. They know who they are. And unfortunately, you know, YouTube, I've reported this. I've reported their actions, you know, regarding, there are, you know, channels that have, basically channels that are set up to harass me here on YouTube. Some of my viewers know about them, and I've reported them. And they violate the community guidelines, but nothing is done. Because YouTube, again, they don't care. They don't care. They only care about the corporates. YouTube actually supports that kind of thing. They support bullies, all right? They honestly support it. You know, and it's just another reason why I want to stop. You know, putting so much effort and time into this. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, there's the cirrus. See it there. And that's another strike against New Jersey. They're further south, so they often get caught up in the clouds more than we do. Like we wouldn't, if we were in New Jersey, we wouldn't have this nice blue sky right now. Unfortunately, the sun's getting filtered again by the cirrus. It's trying to roll back in on us. Tomorrow, a cold front should be moving through and pushing that cirrus southward again, so we should have a clear day. So I'm going to start here. I'm not making this a long hike or anything. I just wanted to come here again. You know, it's just, you know, please understand the way I feel, you know, and you know, I mean, and it's a real shame that there are people out there that just don't understand emotional and mental disabilities. Born with this, man. It's not like I could change anything. I was born with it. You know, I'm living my life the best that I can. You know, I've come a long way. You know, years ago I could never imagine me public speaking. I could never imagine me, you know, having this YouTube channel or anything like that. I've come a long way, but I still suffer with this, and it's just very important for me to avoid things that are negative and that are stressful. And unfortunately, the experience here on YouTube is not worth it anymore to invest so much time, because it is more negative than positive, just like the, you know, ratings on my videos. Well, unfortunately, the cirrus is starting to roll back in on us, and the second battery in my camera is now telling me that it is low again. That's the other issue. It's taking videos, just, you know, I mean, this camera works fine, everything else, just with the video. So, understand where I'm coming from, you know, and, you know, it doesn't mean I'm shutting down my channel or anything, but it does mean that come next year, 2020, there's going to be a lot less content. You can see the sun starting to fade away on us. So as the sun fades away, as the cirrus moves in, you know, I did what I could. I tried my best. But it's time for me to move on. It's just more negative than positive, and I don't need that in my life. I really don't. So with that, that wraps up this video here in the Pine Barrens. Thank you for watching, and thanks again for those who, you know, supported it, you know, commented, and, you know, and gave me advice and everything like that. And, you know, of course I take everything into consideration, but this is becoming more of this whole YouTube experience is just becoming more aggravating than anything else, and it's a shame to let you know, the troublemakers, the snobs, the Wall Street demographic, you know, win, but they are winning, and I've done all I could do to try to show you what's going on with that, you know, and you know, obviously we're not succeeding, and it's time to just let it go, you know. You know, hopefully people will wake up one day and realize what's going on and make the changes politically that they need to make. You know, but until that time comes, you know, I just have to let it go and move on. So, again, my colleagues will always provide you news and information regarding that. But like I said, I have to now go survive and cope with my life getting harder as a result of these political changes. You know, obviously it would be a lot easier if I had a woman in my life, and that's something I need to work on, and I'd rather spend more time trying to accomplish that as well. So with that does wrap up this video here in the Pine Barrens in Deer Park at Edgewood Preserve. Hope you enjoyed all the beautiful piney scenery here, and remember what it's all about. Yeah, it's all about those great shapes. That's what it's always about here. It's all about those great shapes. Take care, and thank you for watching.